Hope you are doing well. Today, let us know about a person who is super talented. Defense is a huge pathway of learning where you learn many things and experience a wide range of shades of life. A young boy from Nagpur has gathered lot of experiences along the way in his journey of defense studies and competitive examination, and also explored many things which help him to learn discipline and to build his own routine and overall personality. His spiritual experiences have made him touch consciousness, and with these qualities, he also cracked UPSC CDSC for 6 times and AFCAT for 5 times and also got recommended once. He also mentored around 50 underprivileged students for PG level university entrance examination and many others for defense studies and defense examinations. In this episode, you will get to know everything about his experiences and his efforts in life till now. So let us give a warm welcome to Mr. Rahul Wankade. Hi Rahul, welcome to Decontrol Show.
Hello, Bhanu. Nice to be on your show.
Okay, how was your day going on?
Well, the day began a bit late, this being Sunday, and Sunday are lazy mornings for most of us. I think this 5 day week culture has taken a toll on every Indian youth today. You work like anything on 5 days, and then 2 day you rest. So, Sunday mornings are a bit late.
Yes, you will take relax.
It's just 1 day in the week that we get again. Monday blues are waiting. Tomorrow morning we start again.
Yes, yes. So it's a great honor to have you on the show.
Thank you, Bhanu. Same here.
So can we start?
Yeah, we can.
So here's come the first question. How would you describe yourself in a line?
Let's reduce your burden. I can do that in a word. I'll say conscious. And I think being conscious is the biggest thing that we need today, especially the Indian youth. So I'm a conscious person, I would say.
Okay, it was a great, amazing answer from you. What are the different types of defense exam?
Mhm. Okay. So today now, since we are discussing about defense exams and the answer that I gave previously, it is highly relevant because what happens is defense exams are directly conducted for officer level entry into the Indian military, Army, Navy, Air Force, the paramilitary, and let's not directly connect this to military, but even intelligence agencies. So what happens is the basic entry that you get, the first chance that you get is the NDA exam, which is immediately after your 12th class. A 12th appearing candidate can also fill the form, but by the time the exam results are declared, your results of 12th board should have arrived. So that is the condition.
Okay.
Next chance you get it after graduation, and the next chance after post graduation. Now, mostly 25 or 27 is the maximum age limit. Why? Because the defense wants young people. By the time you're young, your personality can be shaped in a military manner. So the dialogue that goes on there is catch them young. So if they catch you at NDA level, at 12th level, it's more easy to shape your personality as per military standards. Because what happens is by the time your age grows, you become more rigid as a person. So it is highly advisable that you clear these exams at the first level itself. For example, there are Sainik School exams, which may not give you a military career, but will give you a disciplined lifestyle. So I highly advise the aspirants that you go for NDA after 12th. You may have at least 4 to 5 attempts. Twice every year, the exam is conducted. So if you fail one chance, immediately after 6 months, you get another chance. So if you get selected for NDA, it's good enough. Otherwise, at graduation level, you go for NCC, complete your NCC C certificate, then you need not appear for written exam. You can directly go to interview. That is a reservation specially given to NCC people. Thirdly, if you are a technical graduate, BSc, BCA, BTech, you have special entries. So I would say if you miss NDA and now you are doing graduation, please choose a technical course if you are comfortable with it. You will have at least 10-15 interview calls coming every year, depending on the branch. Now, let's say you missed that also. Then you go for the written exam of AFCAT and CDS. The UPSC conducts NDA and the CDS exam. AFCAT is exclusively conducted by Indian Air Force. And recently, the Indian Navy has also started another exam called INET, Indian Navy Entrance Test. It is mostly for technical graduates.
Okay.
Now, apart from this, there is a CAPF exam, which is about BSF, CRPF, the paramilitary forces. Then there is the Coast Guard exam, wherein No written exam is conducted for anybody. You can directly go for the SSB interview. So
Okay.
all these exams exist and the process remains the same. The first stage is the written exam. Second stage is your 5-day interview. Third stage is the medical. Selection and rejection happens at every stage depending upon caliber of the candidate and number of vacancies. Okay. Now, after all this, a final merit list is prepared. Depending on the number of vacancy, as many candidates get in, the crowd remaining it gets out. Now, only one thing you all need to remember, those who are listening, is these are not per se a total rejection test. These are tests of your personality. So let's say the military has 500 vacancies, but after the three-stage process, if they get only 100 people, if they find them fit, only 100 vacancy will be filled. Defense is never under the compulsion to fill all the vacancies. They never compromise on their standards. Remember this. So if they don't get any candidate, they will keep the seats vacant. They will let the entire batch go waste. And this happens many times. So it totally depends on the individual, his own caliber. Like civil services, there is no reservation. It doesn't depend on your caste, category, religion, whatever. Absolutely no reservation policy. Totally based on your merit, and also does not depend on how many people appeared, how many are getting out. So this is a golden chance, I would say, because if you clear any of these exams, you directly get a class one job. And the process itself is interesting because only what kind of a person you are, your selection depends on that. The rest everything doesn't matter. Like civil exams. So this is a golden chance, and I think every aspirant, even if you are not, let's say, patriotic enough or you don't want a military career, but at least to gain the experience, please go and appear for this exam at least once. Get that experience, and you will cherish it all your life.
From this, I have learned that we also necessary to need develop our personality, not only our written skills. So it plays a
Yes.
very important role in any type of exam or in any life also.
Hmm. Definitely. Also, remember one thing, like any aspirant, whether of civil or defense exam, let me tell you the basic principle that I learned in a very hard way after my experience of so many years, after clearing multiple exams successfully and without coaching. So what you do is follow this. You can start following this if you are right now in school or even in college. Today is your day. You are listening to this. Start following this from today itself. The basic principle is you never prepare for the exam as such. You prepare for life. Because what happens in military interview is it's a 5-day process. Let's say we'll discuss that later in detail. But tell me, what differently will you perform in those 5 days rather than what you are doing in rest of the year? There are 365 days in a year. The kind of behavior, psychology, mentality, the kind of qualities that you have as a person all around the year, those get reflected in those 5 days. So if you say that I'll prepare for those 5 days or those 3 hours of the exam, you won't ever succeed in that exam. You change yourself little by little in your daily life. If you work for 365 days, in those 5 days, it will automatically reflect, you will get selected. Otherwise, if you join a coaching and you say, मैं 3 महीने में कर लूंगा, that is not going to happen. Because defense is a test of personality. It is not a test of knowledge. Knowledge they have already checked in written exam, and this is the only process wherein for 5 days people are called at government expense. They'll arrange your stay, your food, everything free of cost, and then the interview happens. So they are trying to see what you are as a person, and for that changes are required on a daily basis. So as far as defense is concerned, prepare first for the medicals. Get yourself checked. Start running. Whatever are the basic parameters, find out, start practicing. Because even if you get selected and next day they tell you to join, the fitness is not going to come in one day. So prepare in a reverse manner. Prepare for medical first, basic level, then for the personality test. And then in 2-3 months, you can study, do what you want, and clear the written exam. But the remaining two stages are more important. Your psychology, your personality has to change a little bit. I'm not saying change it completely because then you will not be an original candidate. But see what the service demands and try doing it all around the year. Only such kind of candidate gets selected, which is visible in the selection percentage, which is less than 0.1%. So that is how the scenario is.
Every day is important to improve ourselves. So what is the best exam for defense? So you have said
Best exam.
multiple
Mhm.
exams. So in that, which is the best exam?
Okay, so the best exam in defense is that exam which gives you permanent commission. Now there are two types of commission. One is permanent, which means once you join in that, you will serve till the age of retirement, which is 58 or 60. Second is short service commission, wherein you come in for 10-15 years short service and then you get retired, no pensions, no benefits. You may go out in private and do whatever you want. So the most safe option is to get permanent commission, and this can be obtained only from NDA exam and CDS exam. Also in AFCAT they have permanent commission, but seats are less. Short service की seats उसमें ज़्यादा होती है. So I won't say don't go for that, but then your merit has to be high enough that you get the permanent seat, not the short service seat. Okay. So the best exam is to get selected at young age. Because let me tell you, if you get in NDA, not everybody, but one of the candidates does have a chance to become the chief of the force. People who join at the age of 27-30, they may become at most a colonel, brigadier, they would retire. But if you join at an early age, you have, because it's a pyramid. The military is a pyramid. The base is big. Lieutenant majors, we have them in millions. Top पे एक ही बंदा बैठेगा. So at every stage, at promotion level, you will get filtered out. So at that time, if you have joined at a previous age, your experience goes up directly.
Yes.
So that is how you do it. And even for ladies, because these entries are now open for female candidates as well. So go for NDA. Females are now being allowed in NDA. If not, go for NCC entry. Otherwise, go for CDS AFCAT. Now, people who miss all these services, all these exams, let's say their age is about 30 years, you can go for territorial army, which is you can do your regular job, which might be private or self-employed. And territorial army is like a part-time military service. You'll have to serve for 3 months every year when they call you. The remaining 9 months, you can carry on your civil life. So that is also a good option. But keep it at last. Don't go for it as first priority.
Okay. This territorial military also, they have any criteria?
Yes, same criteria. Written exam, SSB, the 5-day process, and third is medical. So process is the same for everybody. Only the difficulty level would change. Like if you are 16 years of age, you go for NDA, they won't expect you much. You are just out of school. You can give any stupid answer. They will accept it. Acceptable, fine. But if you go at the age of 30 for territorial army and the maturity is not visible, then you might not get selected. So as your age increases, make sure your personality develops and maturity comes in, because that is reflected in the psychological test and interview. So that is how you plan.
Okay. From the previous answer, I understood that discipline is very important to any defense aspirant. So could you share your experience? How can we increase our discipline?
Mhm. So see, as I told you previously, this is a daily exercise. Now, discipline comes from small things. Let's say you cannot wake up at 4 in the morning. Don't do it. Don't put the alarm at 4. Keep it at 6:30. But once the alarm rings, please do not snooze it for 6:31 or 6:35. This mind, you have to train it. It's otherwise a wild animal. It keeps running here and there. Wake up at 9:30, I would say, in the morning if you wish to, but wake up at 9:30. It should not be 9:31, not 9:35. So that is the first stage of discipline. Because once you, if you cannot get up out of your bed, which is your comfort zone, how will you serve the military wherein they won't let you sleep for many days, right? The next thing that you do is arrange your bed properly. Because if you arrange your bed and you come in the night exhausted completely, you have a well prepared bed peacefully to sleep on. So plan your day in little things. छोटी छोटी बातों का ध्यान रखना है. In Hindi we say it because in the military they have a saying that if you cannot manage small things, you will never be able to manage the bigger thing. Today you are late for your class, you might say कि ठीक है, the professor doesn't scold me. Tomorrow you will be late for an operation and your people will get killed. So for the bigger picture, start preparing in bits and pieces, slowly. Only then the bigger habit will develop. If you try to jump in that चलो मैं defense exam मैंने देना है, that won't happen. First, plan your schedule. Because see what happens is, let's say you cleared the entire process and after 15 days you have to join. But if that selection is accidental, if it was not planned on a daily basis, you will join the service and you will create a disaster. We have many cases where officers have acted in an over smart manner. They have brought shame to the country and to their force. Because let me tell you very respectfully, they are also human beings and the mind is lost in many cases, many serious situations. So make yourself suitable. How much you desire that job, that doesn't matter. Do you deserve it? That matters. And for being a deservable candidate, you have to build on a daily basis. So start from your bed, check your food habits. Are you eating junk or healthy food? Check your study timetable and stick to that. Now, once you follow this model successfully, let's say for a week or 2 weeks, copy paste the model into months and then into years. Gradually build the discipline into your life.
Few tips to crack defense exams.
Okay. So the common tips that you need to follow in any exam is let me explain at a stage level. So for the written stage, you should not run behind the entire syllabus. Remember, you even if you get all India rank 1 or all India rank 100, considering 100 vacancies are there, it doesn't matter. It's one and the same. So the first stage for any aspirant has to be he or she has to aim to clear the cutoff and then slightly more marks than the cutoff so that you don't get rejected in the final merit list. So what happens is you do not study the entire syllabus. If you can, it's good enough. But if you're not so comfortable with some topics, pick out 60, 70, 80% of the syllabus. Absolutely leave the remaining topics. But whatever you picked out, you should study it 200%. Let any kind of question come on that topic, you should be in a position to answer it, because there is negative marking in every competitive exam. So instead of wasting time on the entire syllabus, pick the best for you, study it well, and get done with the written exam. Then comes the interview process, for which, as I told you have to prepare on a daily basis. Now, one single quality that may help you get selected is working in a stress condition. So what they do in 5 days is they call you, they give you good food and all your entire batch of 50, 60 people, they are all of the same age. You stay together. So they give you very comfortable environment to bring out your original response. Early morning, the testing starts and sometimes goes on for the entire day. So they are basically trying to put you in a pressurized situation wherein mental stress, physical stress will be put on you, and then your personality will be checked. And this is psychologically and scientifically verified that the true behavior of a person comes when you snatch everything from him. So they might give you good food in the morning, but they'll make you run the entire day in the group testing activities. They might, let's say on the interview day, it may go on for 2 hours. Continuously questions are being asked. So they put you under psychological pressure and then they see how this person performs. Now relate this with actual life, wherein an encounter is going on in the military. Bullets are flying around, bombs are exploding, it's highly stressful. At that time, the reality comes out. Whether you will stay and lead and perform that operation, or you will run away, or you will go like a hero and say, okay, shoot me and shoot my people also. Because this exactly happens in interviews. I've seen people behaving in a weird manner in group discussions where everybody is trying to speak and the person suddenly gets up from his seat, bangs something and says, listen to me, listen to me. All kind of nonsense happens. So train yourself to be calm in a stressful condition and still perform as per the expected qualities from you. This one quality will help you in the entire 5 days. Now comes the medical, because see, SSB is very detailed. We can make a separate series on this. Every day the testing is quite scientific, so it will need a detailed discussion. Now for medicals, you need not prepare as such because it's a detailed again 8 to 10 days. They will check each and every body part. Everything very openly and professionally happens. Like girls get female doctors and all, so that is safe, no issue of privacy and all. But every body part will be checked, every x-ray and all things, including your blood, urine, everything will be tested. So there is no preparation for that. But what can happen is either you get temporary rejection or you get permanent rejection there. If it's a permanent rejection as per their standards, you will not be able to join them in your life anytime. You may join paramilitary or police, but as per military standards, especially fighter pilots have very strict medical criteria. You will not be able to join. If it's a temporary rejection, go back, improve your condition, and you will be joining in the next batch. So that is how the preparation strategy happens. Maximum preparation can be done only for the written exam and then for the interview process. For medical, absolutely you cannot do anything. So that is how you can do it. And let me tell you, as far as the interview is concerned, The first day, segregation happens. Those people who are repeaters, they have seen the entire 5-day process previously, their assessment happens separately. Those who have come for the first time, their assessment happens separately. They are in a common group. So in that group, everyone is tensed. Nobody wants to, show off a bit. So it's actually your golden chance. Being a first timer is the golden chance to get selected, and maximum candidates are freshers who get selected. Once you get into the repeaters category, ऐसा नहीं है कि सिलेक्शन होता नहीं है. The deserving person gets in, but then it becomes more tough, or the other person will not let you speak, not let you perform. Additional pressure comes in. So it's better that go prepared the first time. As far as the interview is concerned, go prepared. जो मैं attempt the written exam casually की करके देखते हैं, हो गया तो हो गया. Don't do that with the interview. Do it in the written if you want to do it, because in written there is no fresher repeater kind of thing. But when the interview is concerned, you better get in for the 5-day process and aim, have a belief that I will get recommended. Otherwise, one entire year is wasted in this process. You'll have to start all over again. So try to get selected in your first 3, 4, 5 attempts. It's best.
That was a great explanation and precise noted. So you have mentioned that you have used a single book. So can you say that what is the name of the book and author?
Yeah. So this book will be helpful only for your written exam. It's Arihant Pathfinder. Arihant is the publishing agency, CDS Pathfinder, and for ND also they have the Pathfinder series, also for the FCAT exam. What this book does is it's a big 1,000-2,000 page book. It has 3 to 4 previous year papers, which means 2 papers every year. So solved answers will be given, everything. They will have a comprehensive syllabus of every subject. For the first time when I appeared, I didn't study subject specific. Like for political science, they say go and study Lakshmikant. For history, they will recommend some author. I didn't do that extensive study. I just brought this compilation book, went through it 3, 4 times, and that is enough for written exam. Only thing you need to prepare separately is the current affairs part. So keep following the current affairs of last 8 to 11 months or the gap between 2 exams. That current affair is important. Based on that, you will easily clear the exam. Don't run behind 10 books. Get one book, read it 10 times, your job is done. Because then you will remember what all is given in that book. As I said previously, 200% of 80% of syllabus. Follow this, you will get cleared with the written very easily.
It was a good thing. We should be a very good way that we should be 100% accurate that of our answer, or we should be clear in that concept so that we can give 100% in our.
Yes. Also remember, like, first go through the previous year question papers and then go for studying, because once you start studying, it's a very expensive study. People usually get lost, but remember, we don't have to become subject experts. If you pick up a special book on political science and say, okay, I will study 100% of that 80%, I'll study this book, don't do that. You don't have to become a scholar in that. Just see what kind of questions are asked. Study only that much part which is exam relevant. Don't get into every detail, every footnote. Okay. You don't have to become an expert there. You just have to pass the test. It's a selection test. And if you look at questions in defense exam, they check your awareness. UPSC basically checks awareness. They'll ask questions on films also. Recently, in the last CDS, they asked about film, like what role Vidya Balan is playing there. So they'll check your awareness. ऐसा नहीं है कि you are a defense aspirant, so I will not read about films, I will not read about biology. Don't do that. The first quality for being an officer is to be aware of your entire surroundings. You should know current affairs. You should know what policy the RBI has announced. What are the market rates of petroleum? What is GST? Whatever is happening around you, you should know. UPSC will ask only that one. For example, if you remember, in 2020, there was a blast in a port in Lebanon. That entire ship blown up and the city was destroyed. I think Beirut was the city. So now how UPSC thinks, that is also important. They didn't ask the name of the city. They didn't ask the year. They didn't ask the location. These smart people, they asked what chemical was used in that bomb. And the name of that chemical was present in almost every news report. People don't read. What people read is कहाँ पे blast हुआ, कितने बजे हुआ, कितने लोग मर गए. यूपीएससी को उससे कोई मतलब नहीं है. दे आस्क यू द इंटरनल थिंग, अंदर की बात बताओ. explosive कौन सा था, exact name of that explosive was asked, and I think it was RDX or TNT. So that is how you should approach the current affairs. There are many political news coming. I in my life have never read Indian Express, The Hindu, and these big newspapers which are actually recommended for every exam. I didn't read. Even your daily local newspaper will help you to clear the exam if you know what to read and what to ignore, even in political news. Because I remember this Ayodhya temple was going on, and उसी CDS में सवाल पूछा था that who is the chairman of the Ram Janmabhoomi Trust? Name the chairman. Now defense aspirant would think यार I want to become a फौजी, धर्म वरम politics से क्या लेना देना? नहीं boss. You should know who the person is. If it is happening in your country, if it's a big issue, you should know. And many people couldn't answer that question. They thought religion का question क्यों पूछा आपने military के exam में? UPSC says हम पूछेंगे, आपको जवाब पता होना चाहिए. It's a national level issue ना, so you should know. That is how you approach the exam. और एक बार ये approach आपको आ गया, you will clear very easily. So become aware first. As you previously asked about daily discipline, discipline comes from awareness. If you're not aware, you will not have discipline in life. So this I realized after 2019 when 5 of my attempts were successful, and then I look back, okay, I'll analyze this journey. So that is how you do it. And because of that, I couldn't fail in any exam. As far as written was concerned, I cleared every exam without special study by just being aware. Because on current affairs, 25 or 30 questions almost, they will ask you in UPSC exam. Just read daily newspaper. If you follow current affair magazines and all, that's good enough. But even if you don't follow, it's not an issue. Just be aware of your nature, surroundings, and issues. That's it.